3, 2, 1, and we're live.
All right. Welcome everybody to Aether's Workshop, Starry Eyes, the podcast where you submit animations and we give you tips and tricks on how to improve on it. My name is Sprite Star. I have also with me, as usual, with Stream and Geek.
It's me.
Hi.
Sorry for the long reprieve. I'm quite sure I'm using that word wrong, but yes.
Yeah.
I did not make it that far. But yeah. Thanks to you guys for giving us a lot of things to look at. But today we wanted to go with a theme, and that theme is Idols Only Final Destination. So we will go through all of the nice idols, including Geek's new avatar.
Wait, what? Oh.
Yeah. Look at him go. But yeah.
There you go, stream delay caught up to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us begin.
Even though I said it was low latency.
Yeah. It's more so on my end of anything. But let us begin with the first submission, which is our favorite fluffy boy. Where is it? Did I not save it? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I thought I saved it. It's fine.
We were truly honing our skills here. We're running a smooth ship.
Hey, it's very, very professional. Is here. That's
I don't know
it.
how to stall.
Raul season Smash, guys. Look at her. Look at him,
Cool.
rather.
There he is. Okay.
But
Yeah. And a cute little boy.
so
It is our boy.
which one of you would like to start us off first?
It's good.
Good. I mean, like, honestly, there's nothing I could point out. The follow-up is just amazing. The everything's just done right. I mean, who submitted this again?
I'm
Morrow?
Yeah, we're
The same person who
we're-
made Epino?
Yeah, we're in good hands here.
Yeah, we're good here. It's Rose. It looks actually extremely similar to their Deltarune sprite and also the one used with Chris.
Yeah.
It's just very faithful. I love it. It's just so nice and cute. You know, that's our boy. He shouldn't be fighting. What is he doing in Rival?
He's trying his best.
He's trying his best to hug everyone.
Yeah. Oh, my one nitpick is that there's a weird pixel on the left when he moves to the right on top of his hat, like on the brim.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's that
Yeah,
one weird black pixel, and that's it.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
literally the only thing, and that's like editing 2 frames. Yeah, Morrow,
Yeah,
good
it's-
job.
Likely a pixel that I kind of missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, overall, a very strong submission for an idol. It's definitely a very clear idol, very cute idol, for a very cute character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's a cute character. It conveys the character properly.
Yep.
Doesn't need to be extreme. It's just an idol. I mean,
Yeah, it's just an idol.
it's cute.
Like an
Yes.
idol conveys a character's personality, but like Ralsei is he's just vibing. He's just having a good time.
Yeah. Sometimes that's
No
all
need
you need to get the point across.
Yeah.
All right. Good job on that. We're gonna move on to the next idol. I swear to God. I know I saved these. Why? I literally named this differently because it was the same name as another idol in the. It was the same name as Rousey's idol, as file name, but it didn't say. And it, oh, because I did. All right. I'm not mad. You're mad. Anyway,
We need hold music while he figures this out.
this is already playing.
Shit, you're right.
All right. Now for a more lively idol. made by our favorite samurai simulator, Sai. And yeah, he's just a grooving.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I'm surprised. This is like the third character I've seen out of them. It's so they're so fast.
Sai, please be slower. You're making us look bad.
Fourth character, fourth character, because I remember the spiky boy last time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It feels like they took their time on Zeta and then they're like, okay, now to show my true power.
Yeah.
Alright. So let me just start off with this one. The ears. The ears.
Yeah, the ears
Just
kind of
the
movie,
ears.
movie a little funky.
Like they stick in place.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 2 frames, 1 frame.
Yeah, they don't really follow the rest of his body all that way.
Mm-hmm. In fact, like the opening of the ears, the one that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I'm more so like torn on how like. Okay, so this character is clearly supposed to be like a hand-to-hand combat character, right? Like this is going along, size little design.
Yeah.
Whole thing. I don't know how to feel about this particular idol on a fighter. I mean, it probably makes plenty of sense, but I don't have enough information on this character yet to make a judgment call on this. And I'm saying this for someone who loves him some brawlers, you know, like up close and personal, like bring fist to a sword fight kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is a character that I'm definitely gonna relate to, but like this idol is kind of, I don't know. I think it's just my lack of information on this character. It probably honestly just like fits, because like there's been like fighting game characters that have idols like this that isn't like capoeira, like Duck King from Art of Fighting, I believe. Yeah, that character just has like this really sporadic dancey looking idol, and it totally works for the character because that's what it is. But I don't know if it like does that for this yet.
I imagine them like kind of like a capoeira kind of character where they dance.
Yeah.
You know, they have to keep dancing to keep that momentum to hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's what I think.
Aside from that, I think it's a pretty great idol for that.
Yeah.
Sai does like a really good job with like single color palettes. Like if you notice, the pants in the shirt is only like a solid color, and that's probably for a good reason, considering that the character is probably going to be moving a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the fact like it's dark enough where you actually don't need any kind of shading to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you know, like there's a directional light over on the body already, so it kind of like your mind kind of fills in the shading itself on the darker spots.
Yeah.
Even though it's not there.
In terms of like animation itself, I don't really have any nitpicks or anything. Like, again, I've said this with animations from Sai before, but it doesn't 100% fit Rivals, but that's okay because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like,
give it your own flair, yeah.
yeah. Like it fits 90% of Rivals' style, but the stuff that doesn't fit is honestly better. It's more dynamic. It's more like sketchy and raw.
Yeah.
And
I
love it.
Yeah. Another great submission that was submitted to us.
Thank you, Sai. Very cool.
Yes, thank you, Sai. Very
Yeah,
cool.
thank you, Sai. Very cool.
All right, let us move over to the other one, and I know I saved this one this time because I saw it in my files. We got another idol animation. Who would have thunk?
Wow, it's almost like there's a theme here.
Nah. Anyway, we have a human princess character, unless I'm like missing something, and she's actually from.
I don't know who it is. I think it's a new character, or it's either from somewhere else. Looks like it could be from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But their name is Guinevere. Guinevere?
Oh, like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got I think she's a ballerina in the chat.
Yeah, I'm actually searching through.
League of Legends?
Oh, it's from League of Legends.
I've never seen this character before. Why?
Wait, no. From Mobile Legends Bang Bang?
Oh
What?
wait. It's from Mobile Legends.
I've never heard of this game before, but the logo
Okay.
ripped off League of Legends, which is why I thought.
Oh no. Okay. A little bit of story or context to that. Okay. Here in the Philippines, there are two major games being played right now. There's League of Legends and there's Mobile Legends. And League of Legends was trying to contest against Mobile Legends.
Ah.
Failed. So, it just turns out that Mobile Legends just does it better
Cool.
in every way than League of Legends Mobile. And plus, since you don't have to go to an internet cafe or have a computer at home, you just need your own phone. It's what everyone plays here.
You know what that
Yeah.
means? Mobile Legends, y'all need to sponsor us. Like right now.
This stream is sponsored by Raid.
But history lesson aside, let's get back to the idol at hand. I'll start us off this time. Honestly, yeah, I'm seeing the skill set of this character, right? It for someone that's like getting out of the beginner and going into intermediate, this is actually like a really solid idol within it. Like it obviously has its own like little issues here, but like it's still like a pretty great idol for for someone that isn't like as well versed as say like you geek and Wish and I. So like
it's a good start.
I think the head bobbing forward is a little too much.
Yeah, where's your neck go?
Like it's a weird. I understand why, because sorry, it's because they're wanting to show off like the arc of how the head is moving, right? Like arcs are very important when it comes to animation. Like literally, people back in like the old golden days of animation will tell you work in arcs, because they just work better for animation. It just does better stuff. But for something as small as like pixel art and Rivals of Aether, I don't think it's really necessary to like try and do that. And it gets really funky because now we have like this weird deforming that's going on with like the ponytail, I'm guessing. Right, it's like gating mass on that one frame because it's like trying to move forward, but it doesn't need to. There's a couple other things. So I'll pass it off to one of you guys to fill in the blanks there, because you guys are probably seeing what I'm seeing.
Well, while searching for the like the source material for what she's from, there is actually pretty good examples of her in game.
Huh.
And looking at that, I would say study that more, because I see you're trying to left to right, but they are. How do I put this? Well, like I know you're trying to replicate it, but you're not really sure what to look for quite yet.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about like looking at references that's kind of not well explained. Is trying to see what exactly you're looking for in the reference.
I'll post a GIF of something I just do.
Yeah, and I'll throw it up in the podcast as well, so you guys, so everybody can be on the same page.
Where the fuck is this folder?
Wish, you have anything to add on this idol?
Okay, you want me to slam on this or no?
I mean,
there we go.
Do what your heart calls.
Okay, alright. So first of all, you gotta work on how you're gonna portray the character. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's so many things that's wrong with this one. Right? I see you got the legs right, you got the skirt right, but anything above that is wrong.
Yeah, it's a little messy.
So, like, if you look at the reference material, the purple part of the arms actually goes up to the upper arm, halfway,
Oh yeah.
right? And then I think you completely just remove the upper part where it's completely white. Like, I guess you want to portray the ribbon more, but you kind of place the blacks where there should be white. And in this case, you should have like a darker border around the arms, too. The hair is absolutely wrong. I mean, I guess it's hard to, like, portray curls on a character with this size. You could do a little bit more with that. Same with how the hair is more bouncy than straight. Well,
Yeah.
it's more flowy.
Mhm. Also, she's missing her flower bracelets.
Oh yeah, she's missing her power bracelets. She also is missing her blue crystal on the neck.
Which, granted, is
Something-
very hard to see in the source material anyway. So
Yeah.
I
The
wouldn't
is.
worry about representing that.
the idol
Yeah.
is similar, but I think the motion that they're trying to portray compared to the original is way too different than not call out. Like in the original, like the source material there's more like leg bend to it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that this person is kind of just like looking from like an in-game point of view and just like eyeballing what they see,
Yeah.
and that's what we got from this. Which, to be fair, could happen to anybody. Hell, it could happen to me if I was making a Mobile Legends character. But like, it's these kind of things you just gotta look out for. And I know you're in the server because you submitted this, but next time when you're like working on these things, you feel like that you're stuck or you don't know where exactly you to take this idol, definitely hit one of us up. Me especially, because I kind of have a knack for just like revamping sprites for people, and like, I can definitely help you steer towards a better way of getting to this, because I don't want it to sound as harsh as it may sound when you first hear it, but this might be a case where it just needs an overhaul, which sucks because like the sprite style here is kind of nostalgic for me, and here's why. Because back in my younger days, right, when I was a young warthog, there was a neat little game that I played while I was at my niece's place sometimes just to visit, called Lady Saya. And Lady Saya had like decent sprites. It wasn't the greatest, but I just loved the game in general. And these like your sprite style that you're making this in reminds me a lot of Lady Saya, and it's coming from a very warm place for me, which is very hard for me to be like change everything, you know. I would actually like be the benefit, like I'll take the benefit of the doubt and just say to keep the animation, like keep the sprite style, and like clean up the loose edges and like detail, like lacking of details here and there, and just running with that, because I personally like it. I think it has its own charm. It's like how Psy makes sprites, you know, like it doesn't fit, but it has its own charm to it.
Yeah.
That being said, there's definitely things that you can improve on this style without changing the style entirely. And that's what modding critique is for. So if you're in the stream or you're watching the VOD, definitely go into modding critique after, hearing all this and giving it your own shot. Definitely at either me, Geek, or Wish for like more of a breakdown of what we were talking about. and we will be happy to help you out, especially me, because this is I'm kind of like 2 for 2 right now, and I'm waiting for the third.
Okay, quick little pro tip.
Yes.
When you're studying source material for like an idle animation, or just studying animations in general, look at the legs, especially for like fighting game animations. Because like if you look at the source material here, she like bends her knees a lot, and that carries so much of her animation.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything
her
moves
neck,
according to her leg, that's how gravity works.
Yeah, a lot
I'm
of
saying like she space her hips, right? It controls the rest of the top too.
Yeah.
like I really need to like at least try this game out or something, because if it's like mobile like League of Legends but better, I'm probably gonna like it a lot better. But like I don't know, like watching the animating for MOBAs, like just MOBAs in general, are like very wonky, right? Because you have to over exaggerate a lot of movement for them to not look stiff overhead, right?
It's like Greek theater.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like this, looking at the source material and like looking at what was submitted, like it's a weird challenge to try to like illustrate that, because it's like MOBAs and fighting games especially have like this nice bounce to it, like everything's bouncy and snappy, and that's the appeal of it. It's supposed to look energetic, even with like the most still characters like Remy from Street Fighter 3. Like even though like he's literally standing still, like the subtle moments where he's like readjusting and like shaking his hands and readjusting his wrist and things like that, that's entertaining, and that like carries the animation just for that, along with like all other secondary motion, whatever. It's still a simple animation, but it looks snappy because of these like very exaggerated movements. And like mobile idols, like this one it's literally that, and the submission doesn't sell that much for that, and I think that's the challenge you should aim for next. But then that goes into like the whole workflow thing. Again, modding critique. You get in there, you show us anything that you got after you touch up on this. Hit one of us up, and we'll help you out on that, especially the workflow, because the workflow carries mods. That is very important to get it down. But yeah, just giving it another shot at this and letting us know, and we will be happy to help, because this is I might be just speaking for myself here, but this is like I'm getting really excited to see how this will turn out. Like,
okay, before we leave this sprite down, here's a few tips, right? Notice that the entire animation kind of relies on secondary motion. There's some kind of smooth and easing on it. It's not instant. And in this case, you may want to start learning subpixel animation, because that is going to be the most selling point for your animation here, since it's supposed to be slow, supposed to be smooth, and it's going to be a little doozy if you can't play. But yeah. It is there to convey like the smooth motion too. So it is something that you have to learn for this. Especially if you want to continue with this character, there's a lot of things that are flowy here. Alright. In that case, I'll be right back for me, because I need to pick up my food. My food is here.
Yeah, food!
Yeah, food.
Let's go!
Let's go, food.
Let's go, food!
But, yeah. Super excited to see where this goes. Like, I know it might be, like, really disheartening to be, like, redo it, like it's that hits pretty hard. Hell, it'll hit pretty hard for me, and I've been doing this for years. But like, on the other hand, you make your worst stuff work. Like, you only make your worst stuff once, right? Like this, now now we're getting to the fun part of seeing what can be done next, and I'm really excited on what happens after this, because
Yeah.
this is a looking at the original, like not top down. This is a really good idol.
Yeah.
Like I actually love this idol a lot, and it's from a MOBA, a genre of games I hate. Like, just seeing this replicated in pixel art is like really exciting to see. And if you can like pull this off with or without help, please ask for help. Don't try to go AWOL on us. Please help. Ask for help.
Yeah,
There's
no.
nothing wrong with asking for help, but like,
You need trading.
super excited to see what comes after, and I'm super excited to like give pointers and things on this, because like this is a pretty good start on trying to like get out of that the intermediate part of like learning pixel art. If you can nail this, you pretty much got everything else down.
Yeah.
And it's
Like-
always amazing to like see the like people evolve.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't
like-
include the other improved artists from many moons ago from other podcasts, but we'll do that on the next one because, you know, sticking to the theme. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's super exciting to see pixel artists come in, submit their stuff, and then just blow us out the water with something that they made within like 2 weeks' time. It's just so exciting.
Mm-hmm. It is refreshing to see.
Well,
Speaking of
Alright.
which,
Next one.
yeah, we spent way too much time on this.
yeah, we are. But hey, it's for improvement of one person.
Yes.
They are new. They are new to our
Yeah, the
little podcast here,
nothing.
and hopefully there's a lot of tips.
Yeah.
Tips. Yeah, I cannot English today.
Yeah, don't worry. It
Tips.
happens to the best of us, me included.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go
Let's
on
proceed.
to another reoccurring. Well, not even reoccurring, but made by Muno.
Reoccurring person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a submission made by Muno on his newest character that has come out, and this color thing is taking up everyone else's space, so now it's the geek show. We got ourselves a guitarist, and you know, made by the same person that made Auto Tremolo Alto. So I feel like
This
this
is our
we're
character.
yeah. I think it's a pretty good idol, but there's still like things to be fixed here. I'll pass it off to one of you guys.
Wogue.
He said it. He said the thing. Yeah, we got
All right.
in the chat. His name is Coda. That is all. Yeah, that is very true. His name is Coda.
Cool.
I love Code already. There's so many aspects about him that I love already. But anyway, yeah, and
Wogue's in the
okay,
chat.
first few things that I already noticed is that some pixels are pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, the edges doesn't look like it's right. At least for in my case, the tail.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The
Tail kind of pops out.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there should be like there's hard corners where there shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
And
can see
for,
that.
for the face, it's like maybe there's a single pixel of aliasing that's missing. That's why it looks so sharp for the chin. And that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
me. Right? Other than that, that's pretty much what I could just see off the bat. Oh wait, maybe overshading jacket. Right,
Oh, yeah, that is
on the
shading.
arm. That's why it looks so rough. Unless it's like that's what you're going for. If you're really going for that rough look, but it looks like you're overshading the clothing.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that.
Also, spray can looks like an air horn, but
Maybe it is an air horn. He's like the loudest vandalizer ever.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be a squirrel, but like, I could see why it's like, kind of looks like a dog too.
Oh my god,
Maybe.
it does. It's like a Rottweiler.
Mm-hmm. That's why like, maybe that's like there's a few aliasing that you could use, or a few more shading, few more tones of shading, so you could make it a little bit more squirrel-like in the sprite itself. Oh, and also the I noticed there's a cut on the tail, right? If you notice the highlight part,
Mm-hmm.
there's like somehow like a rough pixel up there, just cutting the tail. In
Oh
half or
yeah, I
something.
see it now. It shows up during like the squat frames, but like yeah, it's there.
Oh yeah, what the?
Oh, and also the spray can deforms.
Oh yeah, at the very bottom when the guitar is going up.
It deforms, but not like in the correct way to match the rest of the thing's angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's all I could spot though.
I think my biggest gripe on this this idol is that it's the motion of it is all fine and dandy, right? Like the general motion, like not like the nitpicks here and there, like the spray can and the tail and the jacket shading and all that. That could be fixed with just like some manipulation of pixels here and there. But I think it's the timing of this idol that's throwing me off the most, because man, this idol looks way too strong. You know, like it feels like it has a little too much weight to it.
Yeah.
Considering the kind of character that it is, or the kind of character that it's supposed to be. And I think that's just more so of a timing thing, like just the timing of the GIF itself. Like even with like how the head is bobbing forward, it really feels like it's just putting too much effort into this actual squat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it may be just a timing thing. I think it's more so like the motion of the head. Because the head bob is nice, right? But I think it's like too much. I'm not sure. It's very hard to tell with timing, because like that can be easily manipulated, right? Like you can always change the timing of an animation to make it look better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm not saying it to be the end all be all. I think the head jutting forward a little bit does hurt that, because when it's at the last frame of the squat before he goes back up, his head does move forward a pixel. Probably like moving that back so it isn't looking like he's just like just rocking out way too hard, you know. Maybe that could help, but again, I'm not sure. It's something to try out, you know, trial and error. That's another thing about animation. It's just all of it's just trial and error sometimes. Like sometimes you just get stuck and you just draw a bunch of stuff and it's like, all right, does this work? And you look at it, it's like, nope. And then you do it again. Like animation takes a lot of patience, man. Dude, don't think that you could just like sit down a couple of days and finish 5 animations. It took me 3 days to do one animation for Olympia, and I took that in steps. So like, do not try to like, don't go into animation thinking that you could just do it and it's like, oh, that's an afternoon. I got the idol done. It's like, no, it's to make a really good animation, you're gonna need more than an afternoon. But yeah, I think all the points that we can make for this, we've made. It's one of those things where it's like, it's a good idle, right? But it needs a lot of like fine tuning and polish.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
let us move on to the next idol. And this is a Pokemon this time. Fun fact, this is actually my younger brother's favorite Pokemon. And it's massive. Holy hell. Okay. Times 300, everybody. Keep it at that resolution.
300% from the
From
initial
the
zoom.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one's like 500. I can already guess. But yeah. Got ourselves a smooth and grooving desert Pokemon. And
Pants, man.
Pants Man.
This is one of the, I'd say, a really good example of using subpixeling.
Oh yeah.
Pretty.
Subpixeling in this is great.
Yeah. Like even if it's a work in progress state, you can still tell what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like, look at that tail. It's just.
Yeah, it's
really-
such a subtle movement too.
He's moving.
Yeah, it's moving.
One thing I want to point out though is the point of his hairdo. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't think Pokemon knows either. Like the front of it where it connects to the head, it feels like that shifts a little too much to the left than it. I don't know really how to convey that.
I think it's the opposite. I think like the base of it is fine, but the tip of it isn't moving with it. It's still on that like original plane.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's like tilting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not tilting along with the head.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
there.
Yeah, this is a perspective thing. Like it's not maintaining the perspective that it's supposed to have. Instead, it's just like staying where it is, which makes it grow mass, which makes it look weird.
Yeah.
This is a good reason why you do all this stuff in steps, people, because now you can pick this shit out. This is another thing about like animation. You gotta keep a lot of things in mind, and sometimes if you're a normal human being, you forget.
Yep.
And this is one of those things that you forget.
Bodies are hard to animate.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize that when they first get into.
Anyway, I think this is one of those examples that I do recommend, like looking at, like just observing how 3D animation works, because it kind of helps you teach about how perspective works.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like even like how you tilt, if you like hold a pen, right? If you hold a pen and then like you tilt it around and see how it works, kind of helps you how to see how the movement is conveyed,
Yeah.
just like that.
Oh yeah.
I literally did what I just said, but but you know, yeah, it's a good spot too. As far you spotted the thing that I wasn't sure about.
Because I see these kind of like things. 'Cause this is you look at it and it's like, okay, he's just like shifting one way or the other, and then you like look at that one point, it's like, wow, this is kind of ambitious, you know? Because like trying to replicate that in pixel art, especially pixel art, holy hell, like that's a lot to order. And like you get that pulled off, and like the idol is almost damn near perfect, like aside from like the weird leg thing that's happening on the back leg.
Yeah,
like it just foot disappears for a little bit, you know, but I
Yeah,
think,
it like shrinks.
but that's the beauty about work in progress sprites, like doing this stuff in segments and steps, is that you could always fix it.
Yeah.
Like
Before you shade it, you're like, no.
yeah, like one fun story. When I was working on Olympia, I had a lot of people tell me that the run cycle was wrong, and I didn't heed my own warning because I was just starting out, and getting back into like doing pixel art after a little bit of a hiatus. So I just like sped run that, right? And the run looked dumb, right? And it was because of something I wasn't paying attention to. I added one more frame than I needed to, and it was like the animation was lopsided. Like
Ugh.
one step took 5 frames, and then another step took like 6 or something. Like it was just like 1 frame shorter than everything else. But at the point of me being told, hey, this animation is wrong, after I finished the animation, I got so frustrated with it that like I almost like scrapped it entirely. And then someone was like, hey, the timing of this is wrong. Like you added 1 frame than you needed to. It was like, shit. Aside from like the whole head placement debacle or whatever, but that's internally. If I would have just slowed down like then, I would have had like a great like run animation. Hell, I might even like at one point redo it, but still, that's the beauty of working in this state first. Just getting the movement down, and this is kind of similar to how I do things, where I focus more so on the movement itself than like the parts moving around. Like Muno's example, I know that one's made in a bunch of layers and a bunch of segments, and this one's kind of just like freeballing, kind of. It's very similar to how I do things, if that helps or hurts anybody here. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah.
I talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just pretty much pointed everything out on this.
I really need to like really get back in the groove of podcast things and be like, okay, I have 2 people that also wants to say things.
In my case, I was like, I'm willing to like keep silent. I'm not gonna lie, because like it's pretty much what I'm going to say anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thankfully, we have 2 more submissions, and we will go on to the next one.
2 more.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be a little bit interesting to talk about, mainly because of the style of the sprite that it's in, because it reminds me a lot of like old school Castlevania games.
Kinda, yeah.
It's a pirate.
Is it?
Nah, it's the hairstyle.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep a little silent because I know this character has an Olympia palette, and I'll pass this off to you guys.
Yeah. Right off the bat, probably just honestly a little bit heavy. It's like super strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's super strong. It's really just timing for me though. It could be a little bit smoother. It could be a little bit more nice. You pretty much got everything right on this one. I'm not gonna lie. Except maybe the chest, maybe. It's like suddenly like... I don't know if that might be like a necklace or something. It's just suddenly like opens up. Like on the peak.
Oh yeah, that's totally...
animation's like...
That's just,
Yeah.
I think that's a... I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's like a giant belt buckle?
It's...
A thing?
Whatever it is, I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
moving a little too
unnecessary
organically.
stretching. Yeah. It's like suddenly expanding.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's there.
Something I noticed. Where are his calves going?
Oh yeah. Like,
Yeah.
well, on the left leg, it just looks like it's just elevating.
Yeah. Yeah. Like his legs are like telescoping or something.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of like lifting up the back foot would help sell the motion more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if your animation is to the point where things are disappearing and like shrinking into other body parts, I think you need to tone back the exaggeration a little bit. Just a
Mhm.
little.
Just a little.
It's fine if parts squish into each other, but like his calves are just gone.
Basically, like, I'm gonna keep this short and brief. It's just, keep the strength a little bit lower. It's like, it's too powerful for like a idol. Like it feels like it's like the idol feels like you just came out of a charge. Like something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
very cool down.
It's like, yeah, you just came out of a cooldown or something. But yeah, other than like the strength of it, maybe it's just a timing issue. I'm not terribly sure. Uh, the chest thing, I don't know what that is, but it's just necessarily expanding, and you could see that kind of sort of starting to clip into how the left arm is conveyed. It's like because suddenly it snaps into that chest part, even though it's not part of it, right? Because like suddenly these two black lines kind of just connect each other.
Oh yeah. Kind of makes a little void.
Mm-hmm. And then the left leg issue. Like, if we're talking about left leg, think of it as the perspective of the character, not from where you're looking. That's usually how I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the left leg, yeah. Try to lift the. I forgot what it's called again. The back calf.
Yeah, the calf, like the
the
lower
calf.
part of the leg.
Yeah, the calf. Yeah, just lift that part up so it won't look like it's like, as what Geek said, telescoping.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty solid.
Someone in the chat said I think that's the issue with most idols, just changing elevation rather than leg position. They got a point.
It's a very beginner thing, right? Like you're not looking at it from the when you're making.
But consider this might be just a heavy character that's trying to convey it's being heavy. In this case, it looks like they're experienced enough to actually do that, because you could tell from the frigging pants, like shorts.
Oh yeah,
thing.
like there's a lot of like
it actually conveys it being, on that upper state. So I'm sure they're already experienced enough to already think about.
I would
actually
say a little bit of a. I'm making a little bit of a compromise here. I would say that they're heading to the right direction, but they're not selling that animation enough. And here's why. For like say when he's going back up, right? There's just a point of a like at the apex of where he's like rising up, right? The pants just like immediately like flies out. Like it's getting ready to go down, but there's not enough movement to warrant that. And that's something that you should probably like keep in mind, which also goes back into when you're like squatting down, because it's both for the same issue on just like moving more of like the joints of the leg, right? Right now there's no bending of the knees. It's kind of just like rise and fall. There's nothing. It's more mechanical than organic right now, and it's.
I'm not even sure if their legs are actually mechanical in that case.
Yeah, like it's more so of like a piston than rather like two joints, like you can still show this motion like without having to like mess up the timing or anything, but there's ways that you can sell this animation.
I'm curious now if they actually have piston legs and just moving.
That'd be cool.
That'd be very cool.
They do have piston legs.
And even if that was the case, the perfect way to sell that is to like incorporate steam.
Yeah.
That'd be super sick. There's one thing I want to say that's like a good thing about this animation. That the hand that's like out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love how that moves with this timing.
He's a little snappy.
I love it.
It's the perfect amount of menacing for this kind of idol, like looking at it, it's like, oh, it's too powerful, it's too heavy, and you look at the hand, and it's like, oh, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was saying it's like this might be a heavy character.
Yeah.
Just because of the way they're moving.
I will say that there's not enough like follow through in the coat though, because like the trim of the coat is kind of just like there. You can definitely sell this motion a little bit more with some anti-aliasing.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, subpixelation. Anti-aliasing is something completely different. But it does segue into something else. Too many shades. I think there's way too many shades in the coat.
Oh yeah.
I'm counting like 3.
Yeah, you don't need that much shading.
Also, what do you call this? Maybe it's just me. It's something to experiment about. I'm not terribly sure. Look at that down motion on his mouth specifically. It just sticks on the lower jaw.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Right.
like there's a frame. It's just weirdly jutting out, like jutting downward.
Exactly. The thing is though, it could work and it could not work. Like instead of like having that black outline there on the bottom of the mouth, it's just use the same white on the face, since like the shirt part is anyway, or I don't know, collar part is dark enough anyway to warrant to remove that black line.
Mm-hmm.
It is experimental. It might look jarring or it might look wrong. We're not sure because this is one of those moments like, will this work? Will this not work? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. And that's pretty much what I got to say about it.
It's a pretty decent idol, and like the reason why we haven't got outside of like, you know, leg, you know, there's a lot of mystery behind it because of it, but like definitely give it another go, you know, clean up some places here and there, hit us up in like modding critique and we'll let you know what we feel after that. You don't have to constantly like resubmit things into Aether Workshop to you know, Starry Eyes to get feedback from us. You could just add us in modding critique, like it's fine. Let us move on to our last submission, and I know someone in the chat is gonna love this one because I think it's, wait, hold on, let me double check this before I say this out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find it. Where? I have it downloaded. That's not the problem. I can't find it in the thing. Whatever. It's fine. We know it exists. Let me pull it up. There it is.
Where did we get that?
There we go. Alright, so we got this idol.
Yeah.
Back to the lively ones. And, you know,
It's bendy.
it is bendy.
It's fun.
I'll let someone else take a crack at this first, because I feel like I'm about to ramble on this one.
How about you start this time?
Yeah, go. Oh, is it my turn? Shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your turn.
It's good. It's smooth. I like it. There's not much to nitpick except for one gold pixel just on the bottom of the shoe, but I'm assuming that's like the heel of it. And since he's raising it up on his toe, that just kind of goes out of view.
Yeah, but it stays in place though. A bit jarring.
A little bit jarring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, this is good. It's smooth. It conveys character. He's got a little like idle animation that's cute.
Mm-hmm. I like he's trying to pull his gloves back.
Yeah, or he's just like doing a little fighty thingy where he like winds up his arm a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's like pulling the gloves back or he's just wiping his face.
I think he's doing that thing. I don't know what it's called.
It's like a shoulder.
It's just like a
adjustment.
bicep stretch exercise.
It's just an arm adjustment.
Yeah, he's just limbering up a little bit.
In that case, the hand doesn't really convey that really well.
Yeah, if we have to discuss that much, then I think you should make it a little clearer.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I like it. I like it.
What about you, Geek? Not Geek. Wish. Fuck.
Wait.
What do you think about this, Wish? What are your things you want to call out on this, if there's any?
Didn't you just say it a while ago?
Probably.
You're listening.
I'm making sure everyone gets their like thoughts out because I feel like I'm about to ramble on this. The idol is alright. It's not anything that's wowing me right now, mainly because I probably just don't have any attachments to Bendy. I don't know how to feel about idols with their arms swinging this much, especially when it's like facing forward.
Context: Bendy is a cartoon, a very wacky cartoon. A very wacky cartoon that's normally portrayed not in a lively way, as you see here, but I guess in the way they're doing like a version of Bendy that's like super fun and nice and goofy and like, you know, old-timey and such. Even though that's supposed to be his character, but from his source game he's actually pretty dark and creepy. Scary.
I think I do know that much about Bendy, at least about the game. I don't know him well enough as a character, and I don't know anything about the supporting cast either. But I do know that this game, whatever the game is called, Bendy and the something Inc.
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yeah, Ink Machine. That this has like levels of bait and switch as far as like horror goes. That a lot of indie games around that time kind of just emulated. This was one of the ones. It's not really, this character is supposed to be like a cartoony rubber hosey character, and I'm not getting that, you know. The palette's interesting. I like the palette. Sepia colors, let's go. But like, it's not. I'm not getting rubber hosey from this. I'm getting literally anything else from this, and I think it's because like the heels are too close together for a character that's supposed to be a rubber hose.
He is. Yeah, he's like a rubber hose that a character, and you could see that. But he's also trying to not make it too bouncy as well. I could see that too.
And
also, for some reason, I don't know why. It's just a consistency thing. It's just like the face is not shaded.
Wow, the face is not shaded. Okay. All right, you're gonna have to like move them shades somewhere else on the hands, especially because that's the thing that's doing the most amount of movement. And if the face either add shades to the face. His head is a round ball. Yeah, you can still shade a ball, dude. Like, that shouldn't be a limitation here. It's the thing that everything's a little too inconsistent. Like, there's places where it's shaded, and there's places that it's not, you know? Like, light is all hitting the same thing, but light is only hitting one particular place, the head, the most. And everything else is kind of like got a shade under it or something. I don't know, it's weird. But like, if you're not trying to make it too bouncy, well, you made it very bouncy. It's just a lot of bending of the legs, and it, especially when like the heels are that close together, it's kind of just, you got a very clear vantage point on like where the legs are going to be bending. Like separating the legs by a pixel, like literally a pixel, can help with that. It's still just very bouncy, and I don't. You're gonna have to figure that one out, because like, how I would tackle this animation would be a lot different than how you would tackle this animation. And
Mm-hmm.
just like looking at the source material here, it's I don't know, there's a lot of things you could probably go with that can help you out with this.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like it's fine as it is. I mean, I get it. It is a idol, and it's like, but I also think you're trying to save space again with the canvas size. Like, you guys can't see it, but it's the canvas size actually really small.
Yeah,
It's super tightly packed.
Maro,
now that I think about it.
Maro put a thing in the chat saying that, like, to keep the feet grounded instead of having it like bounce on the balls of his feet, that would actually help a lot with this. Because rubber hose animations very rarely like move like their feet that much. Like, you can look at Cuphead animations because they emulate that same thing. Their feet are planted to the ground and their legs, like their knees, do the bending for them. And since it's rubber hose, it's very easy to just bend them, right? That's why it's way too bouncy. It's the heels going off the ground. Like, keep them planted, and then there you go. Rubber hose is difficult to pull off, but I feel like it's a lot easier to do it with something, the character that's like native to it. Like, that's why like Cuphead was like so well done. Despite them actually like going back to literally the basics of an animation and just like starting from there. But it's still very doable, especially when you got it halfway here. It still needs a good bit of work, especially if you're trying to solve the bounciness to it. The arm swinging, I don't think that's part of the character at all. I think it would be better to go the Cuphead / typical rubber hose animation style, where just like the arms are kind of like bent out at the sides and they just go up and down with the idol. Or just keeping it like a stationary pose. That's also fine too. Just look at old-timey cartoons and see how those move out, because this is an old-timey cartoon. It's supposed to emulate that. I'm looking at the source material right now, and like, aside from the creepy stuff that shows up, which I also would recommend you try to work in on this if you're trying to keep it as authentic as possible. It's still a rubber hose old school cartoon. Like, that's what it's supposed to emulate. So looking at references for that can help you out with that. Rubber hosing is referring to the character's tubes, limbs usually, cells, invokes a lot of liberties with them. Yeah. I'm not adding any of the creepy stuff. Well, you're gonna have to deal with that later. But yeah. That's if you're gonna go with the happy-go-lucky spin to it, I still would say just clock in more on the rubber hosing. Like, stay true to that style. You're not gonna get any flack for that.
There is 2 videos that I would recommend to like I know like it's rubber hose animation, right? So there's 2 videos that kind of like hone in on this. There is a video called "The Style and Substance of Cuphead's Animation."
Good video.
That also goes into basically how the timing works well for video games and such on the same rubber hose animation. And at the same time, there is the 2D animation tips and tricks, Chapter 7, Rubber Hose Style. So it is a very depth video about how rubber, and yeah, it's kind of like rubber hose is kind of like non-conforming in a way to the rules of animation, but at the same time it conforms in a different way on the rules of animation. It's a lot more loose, a lot more like a lot less on anatomy in a sense. But yeah,
rubber hosing is where we get the term tune the most. Like, when you think of a tune, like a cartoon, like a traditional like full-on red-blooded American cartoon, you think of this, right? Just look at those resources whenever you got the time. Have that move into how this animation is gonna go. Rubber hose animation, you're gonna do a lot of. You're gonna need to do a lot of homework for this, to be completely honest with you. And if you're not going the creepy route with this, you really need to sell the rubber hosing. Like that's like half the character. So like you're gonna need to do that. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got too. Oh yeah, I also posted a picture about how even a ball could be shaded.
Oh yeah.
You could show that in the stream for a short bit.
All right, let me get the resource right here. All right, just gonna.
The face may not be looking like it doesn't have any depth, but it does. Like a ball has depth too.
All right.
Even a round circle, especially like if you're shading everywhere, like okay, unless their face is literally flat. But even then if it's flat, there's still a sun directing on it. So
yeah. Like this, we're getting into just color theory, like coloring 101, right? Lighting. Lighting is very important. Rivals has a very set light source, which is like overhead a little bit to the little bit facing out for a character that's facing to the right side. It would be like upper right, but not like too far out. Kind of overhead, like how a lamp is, like an overhead lamp would be angled. But you can tell that there's like light source here, right? You got the most intense part of the light here, right? Which is that white circle, and then you have the brightest color from that, right? And I'm looking at the shell shaded one on the right hand side. Then you got the normal color. That's the color that it normally looks like. It's just that kind of like olive green, and then under that is the shade or the shadow of that. And this all makes a rounded shape. If it doesn't have any of the shading, it just looks like circle. It doesn't look three-dimensional. And that's the trick about an artist, period, animator or otherwise, is that you're supposed to make something that is literally two-dimensional have some kind of depth to it. Literally everything in Rivals has this, even down to like effects. Like everything has like a plane that it's going to be on, and that plane is not just a flat image. It can be very easily translated into like a 3D world through 3D manipulation and all that, whatever, like 3D modeling. And that's the point. We as artists are supposed to emulate that. Keeping that in mind with these, like, when making sprites and stuff is very important, because the least flat your character is that isn't supposed to be flat, the better. Which is why, you could go two ways with Vendy, right? You can, on one hand, you could give it shading and just have it be all unified shading, right? But on the other hand, you could just remove the shading, and the fact that it's a flat cartoon character makes sense, you know? Like, there's two ways you can attack this. And, that honestly, that's up to you on that. I can't tell you which one's the better or worse answer. Like, if it was me, I'd make a completely different sprite compared to this. But, like, you made it this far.
I can't believe this, but I'm making this as a good reference. An example of a flat 2D character in Rivals is 100% Fox.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't believe it's a good example, but yeah, they're supposed to look as toony as possible, or in this case for Fox, as what do you call this? As messy as possible.
Yeah.
In a
100%
meme
Fox.
way.
100% Fox looks scuff as hell, and that's the joke.
That's a joke. But at the same time, you could portray toony characters exactly like that without, like, you know, people questioning you.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to shade it if you want. But also if you have it shaded, be sure that the rest is shaded too.
Yeah. That's the thing that we're like trying to like tell you about, is that you can't shade one thing and not shade. You can't not shake one thing and shade everything else, or vice versa. Either everything has to be shaded or nothing is shaded. That uniformity is very important when it comes to making literally any kind of art.
This is kind of also plays into like how Zeta works too, right? Because like again, it's like 90% the way there for Rivals, right? It's 90% there for Rivals, but you have your own flair. And in this case, it could be no shading or the way you shade your characters.
Yeah.
Like even the one I forgot the name again, Genevieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. See, they have a different shading style there, but it's close enough too. So it has their own flair.
Yeah, it's uniform, and that's what you're aiming for. Like whatever you're gonna, if it's shaded or not, stick to it. Like you gotta do it for the rest of the sprite. You can't pick and choose places. That's not how lighting works. And that's not how like form works either. It just doesn't work. And you can look up literally any of the artists that try to do that, and I'll tell you right now, they did not make far. They did not make it far. Just stick to one or stick to the other. That's pretty much it. Yeah,
Okay, before we leave this off, if you're gonna still use this idle, make the head bob left and right a bit, just to give it a more cartoony way. You know, since you're selling it's a cartoon, make it bob left and a bit too. Just because like it looks like the head is so. Then again, Cuphead is kind of like that. It's an optional thing, but it sells the character more.
Yeah. Also, like this character doesn't have a neck either, so you can like sell the bounce way more too. Like, you got a lot of creative freedom here. Well, like a lot of creative opportunities here. It's just if you want to take them or not. You already got the bounce on the bow, right? You could show that more with the fact that this character doesn't really have a neck to connect the head to the body. So like, you can play around with that if you want. That's on you. But yeah, I don't think there's much else we can break down on this. We kind of went really detailed about this.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything else. Geek, say.
I'm still here.
All right. Well, we have run out of idols for this podcast, so that means we have reached the conclusion for this podcast. Thank you everybody for joining in on episode 12 of Aether's Workshop Starry Eyes. This has been a nice little session. We will try and hit up the part 2 of this with the rest of the animations. And there's a couple of animations that were submitted that I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited to see, because now the joke will finally be over. And yeah, that once again, thank you everybody for joining the podcast.
Alright, now just shine your way and reach your dreams. Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple.
Peace out, everybody.